The Eagles need a running back. And I've been saying this since day one. They need a running back. They need a reliable running back. They need a multifaceted running back. They need somebody who can catch passes. And the current group they have is not good enough. And I don't want to hear anything about Gainwells and Bostons. Those guys are dudes. Welcome aboard Football Friday with your boy Big Sills. Pull up a chair, put us on your television set, put us on your phone, anywhere you want. If you want to sit back and listen, we are packed today. It is a fan-friendly day. We have Philly 500 at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk to our boy and get his thoughts on what he thinks of this Eagle team going into the second exhibition game versus the Cleveland Browns. That'll be on Sunday. Their second organized practice with the Browns today. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Please hit the like button, but let me start it out by saying this to you. The Eagles need a running back. And I've been saying this since day one. They need a running back. They need a reliable running back. They need a multifaceted running back. They need somebody who can catch passes. And the current group they have is not good enough. And I don't want to hear anything about Gainwells and Bostons. Those guys are dudes. They're not good enough. Those are practice squad guys. Stop with this notion that these guys are good. They're not good. They're decent. Okay? They're decent. Okay? This is, again, a scenario. Right. Xander just said it. This is the first thing I said. If you want to have this offense go where you want it to go, you need an effective back to take some of the heat off of Jalen Hurts. Listen, guys, this is not about Jalen Hurts right here. This is about helping Jalen Hurts. Why do you think when you look at those empty calories in Dallas and you look at Dak Prescott's numbers and you go like this to him? I don't know, man. They surely have a lot of offense in dead time because Zeke Elliott's not the same dude. The Dallas Cowboys, number one in offense. I could pick 5 or 6 different offenses that I would take over the Cowboys offense. This Eagle team needs a running back, an effective running back. Hey, look, finding Brian Westbrook's in the world, I get it. It's almost like as hard as finding a franchise quarterback. But you need to get a different dude back there. This Miles Sanders, guys, hey, and by the way, this is not an indictment on his character or anything. So please do me a favor. When I say this stuff, this is how front office people talk. That guy's not good enough, and nor is he healthy enough for me. I'm not building my running game around that guy and have my quarterback be the centerpiece again. Again? Stop with the Gainwells and the Bostons. I don't care about those guys. Hey, I'll tell you this, that 17 team, you had some horses, didn't you, run the ball? You had some horses running the ball, didn't you? Wasn't just Carson Wentz, a 6'5" quarterback, but you had some horses. Hey, tell the truth. LeGarrette Blount in the red zone was as good a red zone back as you've ever seen. That guy was a touchdown machine. You ain't stopping that guy when it comes to red zone touchdowns. You imagine if you had a legitimate back in the backfield and A.J. Brown in the red zone, who are you going to defend? That guy's going to go up and get every single jump ball, A.J. Brown. And you got to worry about that, so you got to double that dude. Then you turn around, and you're like, well, what about the back, though, LeGarrette Blount? LeGarrette Blount ran dudes over. I covered him in Tampa. When they put that guy on the – you remember what his problem and his issue was? He knocked the guy out from Boise State when he was at Oregon, and they thought there was a character issue. Tony Dungy stepped up for him. They put him on the Buccaneers. I think in like 8 games he had 1,000 yards, and I went, that guy is a good football player. Shit, man, he made a career in New England. Then he goes to Philly and gets himself another chip. That guy, you gave him the ball, it was positive yards. I'm sick and tired of Miles Sanders. You're fired. No good, dude. Reliability, durability is also part of the equation when you're evaluating a football team. And how do you build your offensive attack when you're not sure if that guy's in and out of the lineup? Hey, and I'm sick and tired of these Penn State running backs. Between Saquon Barkley, this guy, who was the guy that won the Heisman Trophy too? These guys in the last 20-some-odd years, these Penn State backs, have been turds. They're never healthy. Saquon Barkley, great talent. Hey, I'm sick of hearing that. Dude, you can't make the club in the tub. People keep telling me how great Saquon Barkley is. Well, I can't remember the last time I seen him. I mean, seriously, dude. Hey, Jones, there's going to be some backs out there that are going to be waived in the next 2 weeks. You're not getting Hunt now. Because of the suspension, you had a chance. Look how fast that door closed on Kareem Hunt for the Eagles. You ain't getting rid of that guy. Do you know that Cleveland Brown team was going to look like the Browns team of 2021? They're going to run the ball 38 times until Deshaun Watson gets on the field in week 11. That's how they're going to go out and try to win ball games. They're effectively going to be like last year's team. The quarterback wasn't helping them at Baker Mayfield, so they're going to run the pill, and they're going to need 2 backs. Kareem Hunt's value on that Browns team skyrocketed when that decision came down on Deshaun Watson. There is no way they're moving that guy. 0. Okay? 0. Absolutely nothing would make the Browns move that guy now. So now what you're going to get is people's leftovers. And you may get lucky. Remember that whole situation that happened with LeGarrette Blount? He hated everything that was going on in Pittsburgh, and somehow he magically lands in Philly. That could happen again because some quality backs are going to be out there. But I'm sick of doing this. Yeah, Miles Sanders, man, he's a 1,000-yard back. He's got who gives a shit any longer? This guy's not available. I'm done with this. I'm done with that conversation. Jimmy G lost a job, and he had a hell of a record in San Francisco because of the lack of durability. You can lose your job because you're not available. This guy's not available. And watch this. It's not so much that I'm on his ass about a hamstring injury now. I'm on his ass because it's one thing after another. After a while, you just get sick and tired of the stuff. And it becomes frustrating to build something. Just stop. Time to move on. Do you put Andre Dillard and Rager in a deal and offer it to the Browns and you get a pick back for Kareem Hunt? I don't know. I don't want to give up Andre Dillard because you know why? What if something happens to Mulata? Who's your starting left tackle? Depth is going to be an issue this year for every team, not just the Philadelphia Eagles. You know why Howie doesn't want to get rid of Andre Dillard? He is a great safety belt. One of those tackles goes down, you have versatility in your backups. Andre Dillard may be one of the best backup offensive linemen in the league. Hey, watch this. Is he a starting frontline guy? Some places, I guarantee you, New York Giants, he is. That's why Howie's not getting rid of him. His value's up. Some would go like this. Well, Andre Dillard really is not doing anything in Philadelphia. Well, hey, let me just stop the press here on this. You're not making the starting 5 in Philly, and you're a backup offensive lineman? I'm going to take a look at anybody Philadelphia cuts off the O-line because making that group, hey, dude, that's a pretty tall order to try to make that starting five in Philly. Would you not agree? That's starting five in Philly, and you're a backup offensive lineman from the Giants or anybody. Eagles cut someone. I'm the first guy in line on the waiver wire for anybody Philly dumps in the O-line. Okay? Anybody. Anybody they cut, I'm bringing them in to take a look at him. He may suck. I'm bringing him in. You're coached by Jeff Stoutland, and you couldn't make the starting five in Philly. Bro, it's the best line in football. There's no shame in that. Andre Dillard, watch this. Andre Dillard can't make the starting five in Philly. Well, Nakobe Dean may end up running into that this year with the starting linebackers. That's a good thing. So when you're all down on Andre Dillard, we don't want to get rid of him. Absolutely not. I don't believe Melvin Gordon and the Broncos. Now, the Broncos, it's a good call, Steve. Steven, I would say this to you. Melvin Gordon was out there in the free agent market, and he had to run back and hightail it back to Denver. But because they ended up getting Russell Wilson, I'm not in any way comparing him to Marshawn Lynch. But they needed an effective running game for Russell Wilson to be a successful player like they had. Hey, one of the reasons that Russell Wilson has not really been all that successful in the postseason since Marshawn Lynch left that building is because just of that. Okay, their running attack with Rashad Penny and them other dudes, Carson, those guys were giving them nothing. Marshawn Lynch, that offense ran through him. It didn't run through Russell Wilson. They had an effective running attack, and they played lights-out defense with Cam Chancellor and Sherman and them guys. All starts with a running game, and you have to have that beast mode dude. Melvin, hey, Jones, I covered him. I covered him in San Diego when he was with the Chargers and they were still in San Diego. I never thought shit of him. I never did. I thought he was okay. I wouldn't give up Andre Dillard for that guy, I'll tell you that. Absolutely not. Dillard is way more valuable to me than Melvin Gordon will ever be. Daryl says you're absolutely right. Was it the last guy, the Jets? Mike Rozier out of Penn. I think Mike Rozier's a Nebraska guy. I think Rozier won. I think Rozier, because I played against him. Mike Rozier's, I think he's a Nebraska guy. I can't think that what? Franco Harris? Lydell Mitchell? When's the last Penn State running back you went, wow? Miles ain't it, man. Time to move the hell on. Let's get this. Hey, and know this. Nothing personal. Strictly business. It's over with. I'm done with a conversation where I have to have this. Is he healthy? I don't want to start. Hey, what? Look, when we talk about Jalen, hey, moving around in the pocket, throwing passes, okay, that's great. When I talk about Miles Sanders, the first thing out of my mouth is he healthy? That sucks. That is strike two to me. I don't want, I'll ask you, what's his durability factor? What's this? Miles Sanders, 7 talent. Miles Sanders running the ball. I think he's got vision issues at times, but he's effective. Durability, 0. Time to move on. It's the big leagues now. Try to win a Super Bowl here. This guy's telling me, and everybody that comes on this program tells me how good Sanders is. When? And you know what, too? You're going to need a guy and a running back to beat Dallas. If you don't have an effective running back, Jalen Hurts is not going to carry the football team to these games that he has to win. Bro, Tom Brady needs a running back. Why do you think they went out and got Leonard Fournette? Brady's always had a back. Aaron Rodgers has Aaron Jones. If you don't have somebody back there that at least gives that defense a play-action threat, why would I, in a million years, be threatened by Jalen Hurts' arm? And again, I'm not throwing shade on Jalen. It's just preparation. I don't fear their running backs. That's one less component. If I'm a D coordinator or a defensive player, I have to worry about. I don't give a shit about their running backs that they have behind Miles Sanders. When Sanders is in there, he is good. But when he's not in there, these other guys, they're tomato cans. Sills. Boston's good. Gainwell. Oh, Jesus. There's a million guys on the street like those guys. It's just facts, man. You guys may love the dudes because they're Eagle guys, and I understand that. Okay, and I want you to keep your passion with your guys on your 53. I do. But I'm here to tell you, there's 100 guys like that. There's guys like that played in the USFL. I mean, look at the back that, hey, hook me up. Somebody tell me, who was the back that took over for Derrick Henry in Tennessee? Was that Devontae Freeman? Was that Devontae Freeman that took over? I forget. Who was the guy that took over for Derrick Henry? They didn't miss a beat. Boston is good. Really? Really? Sure. He's good. Whatever. Trade Miles Sanders for Colonel Sanders. Thank you very much, Vape. Appreciate it. You're damn right, tomato cans, Eddie. They're dudes. They're just dudes. Yeah, Foreman. The kid from Texas, right? The kid Foreman from Texas was the guy that took over. They never missed a beat. Adrian Peterson's out of gas. And so is Frank Gore, for that matter. You ain't getting Kareem Hunt now. Absolutely not. You're not getting him. So, time to move the hell on here. Give me a break, man. All right. So, believe it or not, Xander's probably going to be stunned when I say this. So, this morning, I got up and, I decided to click on Birds 365. I think it was Birds 365. And I'm not sure who the dude was that was there, but he's been covering the Eagles throughout the entire training camp. And he was on this morning. And I was listening to him. The Philadelphia Eagles are gambling the season. They're gambling the season. Why do you think I came to that hypothesis that they're gambling the season? By the way, I'm going to stick more to my 2-4 start after hearing that man, and Xander, maybe you can hook me up who it was, that was on with Birds 365 early on. That was there at the practice on Thursday. Ed Kratz. You know what Ed Kratz said? They ain't practicing running the ball the entire training camp. They have not practiced running and the running game at all. So the Eagles are going to come out throwing. They're going to do the worst thing they did last year. And they're going to try to jam a square peg in a round hole. This is a gamble. You're not that good yet there. Why in the world would you start your football season out doing something that you're only doing in practice? Where you were so effective last year in running the ball. in winning games. You're getting away from that. I am more convinced of a 2-4 start than I have ever been. Hey, it's one thing to throw footballs around in organized practices and in exhibition games. It's another thing when you've got to go win games passing the ball. They haven't at all practiced the running game. Xander goes like this, playing cupcakes. You think the Vikings are cupcakes? I don't think that Cardinal team's going to be a cupcake. And the Dallas Cowboys turned you into a turnover cupcake. Every time they stepped on the field with you, they destroyed the Eagles. But you're going to start the season out like you did last year. Look at what they're doing. Sometimes history repeats itself, and you just shake your head at it. I mean, you really believe that you've improved your passing game enough where you don't even run the ball and even effectively work on your run game. You see what they think? That's an arrogance thing. That they think they're going to flip a switch and they're going to be number one again. You know what teams are going to be? This is the NFL, my friends. They're game planning that. They're game planning that. So you're going to go into that Detroit game doing this. Well, let's see if our new toy works. Instead of doing something you know you're great at. Like I told you before, it's like George Foreman going out there going, well, I'm not going to throw any haymakers any longer. I'm just going to be a jabber. Not that George wasn't a great jabber. He was. One of the greatest and most powerful jabs of all time. Eagles don't have that jab. They're more like Floyd Mayweather. Joseph says, I don't believe we haven't been practicing. According to Ed Kratz, they haven't at all. What do you call Ed Kratz a liar? I heard him say it. Okay? You're missing my point, Xander. I'm not saying you don't work on your pass game, but you don't effectively work on your running attack at all to keep it going and work on it as much as you possibly can. Ed Kratz said this morning on Birds 365, he believes the Eagles are going to start the season throwing the ball. Quote. 2-4. 2-4. Remember I said it. You guys can hold me to it. Let's see if I eat crow. Xander goes, do you think our line all of a sudden is going to stink? No. I think defensive coordinators around the National Football League are going to do everything in their power to game plan that. Why do you think certain quarterbacks in their second year struggle? Why? Why do you think certain quarterbacks struggle in their second year? Well, because there's film on them. There's a philosophy. And by the way, it's not just film on Jalen. It's film on Shane Steichen because he took over when they started winning. Everything that they did successful last year will be game planned against this year. And Jalen is going to have to win games now, the beginning of the season, before you get to the bye week, throwing the ball. They're not going to run it. And all of a sudden, guys like Xander and all the rest of the people think you're just going to go like this. Light switch. Here's the Eagle light switch. That's the running game. You may do that shit in college. It's the NFL. Did not and have not worked under a run game at all. They're going to throw the ball. Quote Ed Kratz. They're going to run it. Or they're going to pass it. They're going to throw the ball 35 times a game. You guys are going to get you're going to get your wish right away. We're going to know immediately. And let me tell you something. You better hope it's effective. Because if they have to resort back to the second half of the season, the Jalen Hurts experiment's over. Jalen Hurts, you will know if he's going to be your starting quarterback by week 7. Because if you are 2-4, it's over. I thought this was going to be a little bit more of a maturation and a slower process. Oh, no. When I heard Ed Kratz say that this morning, they're not effectively working on anything in the run game. Screens, nothing. Zero, he said. Now, that could be because Miles Sanders and the bag of vittles that they have in backs back there, they're going to throw the ball. And you're going to find out right away. Every single defensive coordinator knows this now. They're going to game plan. They're going to jam. There's not a team in the NFL that believes Jalen Hurts can beat them throwing the ball. Why would they? You're going to have to, see, like me, you're going to have to prove that to me. That you can be effective. And you can be a passing quarterback. Until that time, I'm jamming the run on you. They're going to lose first and second down because they're not running the ball. And they're going to constantly be in 3rd and 7. Watch. Remember I said this to you. They're going to throw the ball 35 times in the first part of the season. And I'm going to show you on 3rd down after the Lions game. I think they win that Lions game. But I'm going to show you how many times I'm going to keep a stat. How many times they're in 3rd long. 3rd long is 3rd and 6 or more. And by the way, the other guy on the other side, Jonathan Gannon, you better make sure Jonathan Gannon has a defense lined up to stop the run. Because last year on 1st and 2nd down, they were annihilated. Okay? You're not practicing the run game. You're going to throw the ball 35 times out of the chute. Okay? They're going to do exactly what they did last year in the first 4 games. Ed Kratz said that this morning on Birds 365.